It's the play that sets up your defense. Did your guy boom a 55-yarder or shank a 32-yarder? That's like giving the other team a 23-yard completion. Did he knock one through the end zone, setting up the opposing offense at the 20? Or did he knock one out of bounds beautifully at the 5-yard line? That's 15 yards in hidden yardage. Mark Rogers TV running down the top 10 punters in college football, concluding our series, our top 10 series of the best players in college football per position. We've run down the quarterbacks, the running backs, the wide receivers, the offensive linemen, the defensive linemen, yes, the linebackers, the defensive backs, and even the place kickers. No, they're not football players, but they are sometimes game changers. Now we go to the guys, the punters who set up the defense. And you'll notice that some of these punters played for some of the best defenses in the country. So there is a connection there. We start at number 1 with Will Munday of Duke. He was just a freshman in 2012 and was 15th in the country in yardage per punt at 44.1, kicking it 66 times for the Blue Devils as Duke made it to a bowl game for the first time since 1994. Munday boomed a 79-yarder in the Belk Bowl. We expect him as a freshman, coming off that freshman season, to improve even more. And with some of the best punters in the country moving on to the NFL, Will Munday should up that 15th ranking in gross punting average in 2013. At number 2, we go with Kyle Christy of Florida, and here's the connection. Excellent punter, excellent defense. Florida had one of the best defenses in the country until that Louisville showing in the Sugar Bowl. Certainly the Gators were one of the top front sevens and great defensive units in college football, and Christy set them up many times. 45.8 average, that was one of the 10 best in the country, and he improved that 5 yards per punt from his freshman season of 40.8. Kyle Christy of Florida at number 2. At number 3, we've got Rich Leone of Houston, the All-Conference USA performer. Boomed a 77-yarder against Louisiana Tech. He was right around 41 yards per punt as a freshman and sophomore. He upped that to 45.5 as a junior and should have a great senior season at the University of Houston. Rich Leone at number 3. At number 4, we've got Tyler Williams of Marshall, 45.1 yard average, one of the 7 best in college football as a freshman. He's coming back, of course, as a sophomore and may get even better. Tyler Williams at number 4 out of Marshall. At number 5, we go to the Big Ten at Michigan State's Mike Sadler. The average, not ridiculous at 43.1, but the superlatives come out here. He had to kick it 79 times. That was 2nd in the country. Spartan fans, you know that your offense was porous last season. Your defense, once again, one of the best, not only in the Big Ten, but in the country. And this guy, again, a reason why. Mike Sadler, 79 punts. He knocked 31 of those inside the 20, 10 of those inside the 10, and had 19 kicks over 50 yards. Mike Sadler may be the reason the average was down at 43.1. And again, that's not a bad average at all, but probably one of the best in the country when you consider many of those punts went inside the 10 and inside the 20, and that decreased the average. We stay in the Big Ten at number 6, and Will Hagerup, who had a better average at 43.6 than Sadler's 43.1, but we knocked him down a notch because Sadler had the punts inside the 20 and the 10, really distancing him from Hagerup. The Michigan punter was all Big Ten. Again, he had a 43.6 yard average, 10 punts of 50 plus. That compares to Sadler's 19 at 50 plus. So we rank Sadler over Hagerup of Michigan. At number 7, we go with Ethan Perry, the sophomore out of TCU. 44.5 yard average on 63 punts. He really got the job done. 11th in the country. And again, some of the top punters in the country from 2012 moving on. So we expect Ethan Perry of TCU to have an even better season as a junior. At number 8, we've got Tommy Hibbert of North Carolina, punting from one of the best defenses in the country with North Carolina at 8-4, and they should contend for an ACC title this season. Sophomore at a 43-yard average. At number 9, we've got Kirby Vanderkamp of Iowa State, 41-yard average and a 60-yard punt to his credit. And finally, at number 10, we've got Wake Forest Alexander Keinel. Keinel is a redshirt freshman. Yes, the average was 40.7, which is very good, but doesn't rank with the rest of these guys who are typically between 43 and 46 yards per punt. Keinel, 40.7, but he punted it 95 times. Michigan State Sadler at 79 was second in the country. Keinel punted it 16 more times. A 40.7-yard average, 28 inside the 20. And as a redshirt freshman, yeah, they wore him out with 95 punts. That was first in the country and also an ACC record. There's the top 10 punters in college football in 2013. Would love to hear from you. It's your turn on Mark Rogers TV.